Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel. This is the All Star Wrestling Review Series. This is February 7th, 1981. And we've got almost 100. We'll have about 150 of these somewhere in that neighborhood within the next little while. But we continue to be focused on bringing you the best in pro wrestling content that we can. Again, February 7th, 1981, and the All-Star Wrestling Series. We got 1,800 audios from old school, new school, all points in between. In the meantime, here, this is the Tag Team Champions Rick Martel and Tony Gurria defeating Ron Shaw and Barry McCall, Luna 618. Martel pins Shaw with a crossed body. Martel obviously still the quicker, more impactful, more, I guess, visually appealing, and overall, I don't want to say better liked, but at the same time, a little bit more, I guess, hip for the time period run there. Gurria maybe more stabilized, having been around throughout the 70s, and Mikhail Cicluna, a guy that's been around since the 50s. Ron Shaw, a guy who really doesn't really get as much of a rub as you would think with his size. Gurria tries to stay on the arm a little bit. Gurria tries to do everything he can with the nature of ultimacy and kind of getting things going according to some sort of plan. Top wrist lock on Martel. Shaw doing more of the power moves for his team and managing to get, the nature of everything. Tag off to from Martel to the inside, hard shots, and ultimately getting things going in some semblance of order there. Hard shots again by Shaw, and again, kind of tag off to Cicluna. Cicluna ultimately there as a hard shot along the way, and we kind of have things going in accordance with the nature of everything, kind of getting everything together in that regard. The champions again with some double teams, Martel with some drop kicks along the way, and eventually, obviously, a win for the tag team champions. Going forward, we got Sergeant Slaughter coming up next here. Sergeant Slaughter with the Grand Wizard against Jim Duggan via submission. Cobra Clutch, 2-minute marks prior to the bout. Johnny Roz fails the Cobra Clutch challenge. So really, if you think about it, they're putting Slaughter over super intensive. Again, Roz sits down in the chair, cannot break the Cobra Clutch, and a punch kick match immediately after that with Jim Duggan, who couldn't break the Cobra Clutch a few weeks before, is had here. So really, I mean, Slaughter getting almost double the push because he's extra the TV time. Grand Wizard happy with his man, Sergeant Slaughter, on the outside of the ring, as one would be with the amount of impact that Slaughter has had. Slaughter uses the Cobra Clutch not only in the challenge, but also in the defeating of Jim Duggan as well. Challenge once again more vehemently put out to the Moondogs by the tag team champions. Odd to see the champions, especially as babyfaces, challenging the challengers, who are the Moondogs, who are crazy, portrayed as crazy, savage individuals. But anyway, and ultimately, Stan Hansen is here, and he ends up pinning Andre Gomez 148 with a knee drop to the throat. Obviously, Gomez not much of a challenge for Hansen. Punch, kick, basic stuff along the way, and uses a modified lariat. Doesn't get all he wants on it, or doesn't actually go at it as aggressively as he normally would. And then we kind of see Hansen, who has been in that position before, continuing to prove he has that ability at a whole nother level. Then we see the Moondogs with Captain Lou Albano defeating Dominic DeNucci and Steve King. Odd that they had been doing that. The eventual battle between the Moondogs and the tag team champions is also accentuated by the interview with Vince McMahon post match. DiNucci, though, in the match with the Moondogs, stands toe to toe with one of the Moondogs, side headlock, and eventual run there. Uh, and again, hard shots by DiNucci right across the chest. And ultimately, kind of getting you there, and some rough go of it, to say the very least. And Albano basically promises that the Moondogs will be your tag team champions going forward. Um, and Vince McMahon is unimpressed with this. We go into the final match of the day, I believe, which happens to be here the Angelo Mosca with Captain Lou Albano defeating Jack Carson via submission overhead backbreaker 256. Odd that Hogan, who in previous weeks had been using the overhead backbreaker, Carson, relative newcomer, Mosca had been gone for a while, had been here for maybe a few months just to pass through for TV, but not ever really treated as a major guy. The overhead backbreaker used by Jesse Ventura, Hulk Hogan, and Angelo Mosca, among others, during the early 80s time period, but we will close with that. We'll be back with Rampage and SmackDown and more of the All-Star Wrestling Series later this evening. We'll be back right after this.